You know that man every night sits there in the nude, sweat glistening down his face, like, tonight's the night I suck my D. And every night he ends up with a hurt neck, crying.
Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
We're the Scarlet Halls. I'm Sidewhistle.
I am Immunization.
And I'm Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horde Punching Bag.
This is episode 68.5 of Do Not Relent, and it's a 0.5 for a very specific reason this week. Or next week?
So, even though it's released as a normal episode on a Friday, we decided that this one needs to be named 68.5 because we had the golden opportunity, a one-time only event, for, if we tweak things a little bit, in episode 69 to be released on 420. So, while that technically might be a bonus episode, we're naming that one 69 and releasing it on 420 because that's our brand.
The sex number and the weed number in one episode? Surely it won't be a mess.
Any better podcast would surely ignore the fact that 420 or 69 exists, not us. We're going to dive headfirst into it, and I'm going to get high as fuck and try to record a podcast episode, and I'm a little nervous about how that's going to go.
We have had massive technical failures on days and recordings when we drink even a quarter of the amount that I intend to for episode 69.
What is happening outside of our window right now?
We have some big...
do tell.
We have some big lady backing it up. All we hear is beep, beep, beep. And who's backing it up back there?
I'm really sad because when you said backing it up, I definitely thought she was like pop locking it into or dropping it outside the window, just like getting it on the street corner. I was like, hell yeah, Miriam.
Whenever I hear someone backing up, I imagine that big hippo from Rocko's Modern Life, because whenever she backed up, she would beep. So that's why I called it a big lady.
I just think of the TikToks now.
He's been spoiled.
He's ruined. The TikToks has got him.
But yep, 69 coming soon to podcasts near you on 4/20/2020. It's the biggest 420 available. Let's start with our raid progress first, because I think we're all a little surprised at how we did.
No, please elaborate, because
I was going to say, remind me, please. I don't remember.
Yeah, I guess my surprise was not as surprising.
Our raid lead is now Kata, and the raid wasn't horrible, and we progressed almost farther than we've ever had before on a single regular night.
That is true. Last night we progressed pretty quickly, and I feel like maybe not most, but a good portion of people were on alts. I was damaging, and it went pretty smoothly. It's probably just because everyone is geared and we know these fights now, but we also had some new people come back who had not been raiding very often.
I was eating spaghetti the whole time and watching television, which tells you the amount of got it that we have in this late stage.
And we've been doing split runs on N'Zoth, and instead of doing that, we just took everybody in at once. And the first, 5 or 6 pulls were a little messy. We maybe got barely through phase 1. But we ended up making it to the bottom of the barrel last phase on that fight. And N'Zoth had 18% health left. And we're like, oh my god, we can actually do this as a group and not 2 little groups.
Yeah, so we might do that tonight. We'll see.
Hopefully, I'm bringing my big heat tonight. Growliina's showing up. I guess she was there last night, but I won't be watching The Good Place and eating spaghetti this time. I'll be laser focused.
Yeah, because now there was 4 mages in the raid. It went from being 1 to all of a sudden now there's 4 showing up.
I saw that and I was like, there's a lot of mages, so they have their arcane buff, and this spaghetti is pretty good. Do I want to say I have a tummy ache and leave? But I was like, no, I'll stay.
Always an option. The good old tummy ache excuse.
So now that we've gotten raid progress quickly out of the way, let's talk about what we got up to in WoW this week. Aaron, what did you do in WoW this week?
This week in WoW, I hopped on my boy Zaddy, the level 110 light Forge Draenei Paladin, to help Cubby Bub get her namesake to 120. And we did it!
Yeah, if you guys are followers of our Instagram, we posted a cute pic of the two of them right after she dinged 120.
We did?
Yes, and after she pulled Barman Bill, and I was like, we gotta go. She's like, what do you mean? I was like, Barman Bill's got like 17,000 boys and he'll kill us. And he did. But we got that nice picture beforehand. But other than that, just doing the usual stuff, eating spaghetti, going to raid, and being a good boy.
Have you asked her what her favorite zone is altogether? Because, since she's a BFA astronaut, which is what a new BFA player is called, I was just wondering if it's like, what, does she like Outland? Does she like Northrend? Is it BFA?
It is actually Warlords of Draenor. When she dinged 120, she said, what a relief. Now I don't feel bad going back and doing garrison missions.
Oh, no. She's doing it.
Wow.
I told her, I was like, this is the reason people didn't like WoD. Like, there's only one person. It's just you. She's like, yeah, it's nice. It's like a little like simulator thing. I can just go in there, get some money, just do my dailies and have fun. And I'm like, I guess I can't argue.
Yeah.
So today she was over in WoD.
Wow.
That's crazy to think of. I feel like people liked it then to a point, and then it just dragged on towards the end of the expansion, probably.
Wow, there's a lot of toys and mounts you can get from there, too. So, this should add that. I don't even have from the garrisons, and I was playing during it.
She does make sure every time she sees Fiona to let me know, there she is. And I'm like, yep. There she is.
Same spot, glued to that corner.
But, Sidewhistle, what did you do this week?
Ooh, almost choked there. So, I was doing some stuff on Alan.
What a way to end your illustrious podcasting career. Dying live on the air.
It's going to be me next week, next episode. But so, I did some stuff on Alan, my Death Knight. Did some, mythics. I did some catch-up, trying to get his cloak caught up. I have to do more of that this week. I pugged N'Zoth. That was hell, because we didn't kill him in our raid group. I had to go venture out into the wild wildies, and I found a group of barely geared heroic players that wiped 10 times on N'Zoth. And I said, fuck it, and I just did a normal run. And me and 8 legitimate mythic raiders killed N'Zoth in 10 hits. It was absurd. So just if you're doing your cloak catch up, fuck heroic, just do it on normal, and the cores are the exact same. There's no reason to do it on heroic. Fuck that.
Now, when you were wiping all those times on heroic, did N'Zoth manage to steal your bread and ruin Skimmy any of the times you died?
No, but I feel like he really, really wanted to.
I feel like Drestigath would be the kind of person who would try to trick you into trading your rune Skimmy so that they could guild it for you.
Which one is the person that would fight me in the wildy to steal all my fucking bread and then run away with it?
Oh, that's actually me.
Personally, I think that'd be like Shadthar or whatever. The amount of attacks he has that are just one hit, that's a very bring you into the lodge, kill you, steal your bread kind of guy.
The worst kind of people. Shadthar and Immune, apparently.
Immune, you were the people. You were the reason I was afraid.
You little bitch. But other than that, I got engaged in some guild activities that almost killed me and another person. Bum bum.
Do tell.
Honors, our illustrious GM, who we voted in democratically, decided he was going to have an Iron Man guild challenge, where all you had to do was level a new tune, don't die, and, it's Iron Man rules, so you have to use, stinky clothes, you can't send any gold or anything, if you die, you die. And I was losing bad. I was in, third place, at level, 55, 54. Our winner, Cass, she was in first place at, 70, I think it was just flat out 70. And it's 11 o'clock at night, the day before the contest ends, and I'm like, if I don't sleep, I'm pretty sure I could catch up to her, and I could beat her before she wakes up. So I asked Honors, what time does this contest end? And he says it ends at noon server time. the next day. So that gave me 12 hours to pass her up. And boy, howdy, did I fucking try. I didn't sleep. I got like 18 to 20 levels, and I ended my fucking run at level 76 at like 9 a.m. on that day.
Yeah, I was waking up for work, and he was still out here trying to grind those levels.
Cubby Bub came out and was on her computer before me, and she said, "Is Sidewhistle really level 70?" I said, "Is he?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Fuck that."
The only
My ass died at 35, and I'm like, bye.
Yeah, I also died in the 30s. I died at 32, I believe. It was a really tragic death, but I will save that for later because that is definitely my bottom boot of the week.
Oh.
I think my only saving grace was that I was a druid, so it was easy to survive like a little more often. And I was a night elf druid, so I can go invisible if I need to with shadow meld. I had cat form to prowl around in, and I get free flying and I get free travel speed, so I was moving faster. That's why I did it, because I figured I only had to hit 3 more levels, and then I get free flying, and at that point I can really catch up to her. So I got to 76, and then I fucking died. And I was like, oh my god, she's not awake yet. The second that I go to bed, she's gonna get on, and she's gonna fucking play. And sure enough, I saw her log on. I'm like, oh my god. And Honors didn't tell anybody else what time this contest ended at. So I'm like, Honors, wake up. I was testing him. Hey, Honors, did I win yet? Honors, I won, right? You gotta stop her.
Wait, hold on. Do you have Honors' IRL phone number?
So we have a group me, which is an app that some families use to keep in touch.
Yes.
So we decided we didn't want to be like the old administration of our guild, who was impossible to contact. So we all have group me, and there's an officer group chat, and there actually is now a regular guildy group chat if you guys want to be added to that for some reason. I muted it because, it's my phone's going off at all times now, and I don't want that. So I messaged him on that. Eventually, he got on, and he was like, he wasn't sure how to end it, because he told me it was going to end at noon. He didn't tell her it was going to end. It was like 4 p.m. and she was still playing, and she was almost going to pass me up. So he basically conceded that we both won, and he was going to pay us both 100k gold, and he was going to give us each a 460 BOE from the auction house. And I'm like, Honors, I know that you don't have this kind of gold. Like, I know how poor you are. So what are you doing, bud? And then he was like, okay, guys, here's your prizes. You guys are going to get the gold next week. Give me some time. And I'm like, poor little Honors is going to go out there and farm this gold to give to us for our prize.
Oh boy.
So I'm a tied winner Iron Man challenge, baby. Don't sleep. Your hard work will pay off.
Winner, 2 chicken dinners.
Okay, Rue.
Honestly, can I get a quick pour of a 40 out on the ground for the deceased players? This one's for Gumbuno.
This one is for Immuno.
This one is for Unofficial, who was the first character I had before she also died, and I had to remake another druid.
If you guys didn't pick up on it, part of the rules were that we had to include Uno in the name of our challenge tune because our guild name is now Uno Mas.
Speaking of Uno Mas, there's one more of us left. Immune, what did you do in WoW this week? Oh, wasn't that good?
Wow, what a segue! And I will say, it was kind of busy for me this week in WoW. I also partook in the Iron Man challenge. I leveled a rogue. My first one died at level 10, so I was like, okay, fine, that's fine. I can just make a new one real quick. But then my second one tragically died in the early 30s, and I was on such a roll too. I was really enjoying rogue. I probably still will end up leveling this one because I was having fun, and I was using her to knock off some of the lore master stuff as well. So I completed Westfall, which surprisingly I somehow never finished all the way, which is beyond me.
I mean, after you beat Two Shoe Lou, the excitement really just goes downhill. I don't blame you.
Yeah, so I finished that up, and then I was like, I guess I can head up to another region that I was surprised I never finished. I capped off, is Dumaro, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so then I knocked that one off as well. I was, feeling good. And I was like, okay, there's only like 1 or 2 more regions in Eastern Kingdoms I need to do, and one of them was the Cape of Stranglehorn, so I went down there, and that's where I died, but I'll talk about that more later. Other than the Iron Man challenge, which was fun, I did all my normal things, and then we all did time walking together. I was on my alt Garage the Druid as Resto, so that was a little stressful because I forgot how to do it, basically.
Oh yeah, I forgot we did that.
Yeah, we were trying to gear up Cubby.
We have our shout out from our friend.
Oh yes, that's right. If you are listening to our podcast and you happen to play on the Dark Spear server and your Alliance side, can you please do us a big favor? And when we have one of our biggest fans that we would love for you to send a message to, or just talk to him about this.
So we have a shout out from Ronjaron of Darkspear, who ran one of these time walkers with us as our paladin tank. And he said, quote, "Fuck you and your weak ass guild. 1-min Q, bitch." And then he blocked me so that I couldn't even respond to it. So shout out to him.
Hell yeah. To be fair, it was because he was being a stinker and not moving during the final boss of that dungeon. So right before the kill, all 4 of us, because we know each other and we can vote in solidarity like that, decided to kick him, so he had to start it all over.
This man had the patience of a 2-year-old. It was everyone's least favorite dungeon in there. I guess maybe second least favorite dungeon in Kata Time Walking. It was the one where you have to fight the echoes of Sylvanas and the echoes of Jaina. And you had to go fight fucking Bane in the middle of the fucking lava pit. And he was trying to stealth pull. And we haven't run it in a long time. And I think either Aaron or Kate, one of them pulled like a mob. And he was so upset that he had to come back and tank this pack of like 4 mobs. And he was so salty about it the entire time. That was the only fuck up that happened in that whole dungeon. And at one point he said, "Oh, let me start clearing all this trash since we have blind players."
And then he later died to something very easy to avoid. And then I was just like, "Are you blind?"
And then he also asked me to imprison a dragonkin ability, or a dragonkin. And I was like, I'm a demon hunter. I can only imprison like humans, beasts, and demons. So I said, "Are you blind?" Because he didn't know how that worked.
Yeah, so we kicked him right before we killed the last boss, and just to be petty. But then he unblocked me, I believe, just to message me again, and he just said in all caps, "LOL, fuck you, I still got my loot," and then blocked me again.
And then, congrats, dude. He was just standing there. So he died once during like the fight with Nozdormu, and he basically decided he wasn't going to help at all. So we 4-manned Nozdormu, like fighting him with the fucking hourglass. Thank God for that hourglass. Otherwise, we would not have made it. But I was sending him some messages basically saying that, it's always nice having out the blind. I basically made a lot of blind jokes at him since he called us blind and obviously couldn't see. So, Ronjaron from Darkspear, fuck you, buddy.
Yeah, fuck you, guy.
We have a platform. You be careful. Do you know who we are?
What are you going to do? Go on your blog spot and make fun of us? What are you going to go on your live journal? Too late. I already went on our live journal and made fun of you.
Did you really?
No, but I will now.
Well, other than the time walking that we ran, I also last night grinded out all of the Noble Garden achievements, so I am 1 step closer to Violet Proto Jake.
Whoop whoop.
You only have to do, I think, 2 more now.
Children's Day and the summer one.
Yeah, good luck on Children's Day.
Don't ever speak that name in this podcast again. I hate fucking Children's Day. It was Children's Week. Whichever one it is, I can't stand it. Noble Garden is actually a very close second on my fuck this list, but it's not that hard. It's just tedious getting all those goddamn eggs.
Yeah, and I did it in Goldshire too, so it was pretty poppin'.
Yeah, you did it in the worst area to do it in. Also, those eggs, you have no idea where they've even been.
Oh, golly. But that's all I got for this weekend. Wow. But it's not all I got, because I also got this time warp.
Oh no! I assumed based on the language.
Okay, I am going to give you boys 40 seconds to name as many responses to my trivia question as possible. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
This week, I am asking you guys to name as many named characters that are half-bred races. So they are like they're any combination of 2 or more races within the World of Warcraft. On your mark,
Oh boy.
get set, go.
Growliina.
Arathor.
Growliina. Rexxar.
Shit.
Growliina, Rexxar. Terrellian and Illyrius, which I think you already said. Rakish. Is he? He's an Eridar. His dad's not an Eridar. What are there's half giants. There's half
Talia Fordragon. Maybe.
Wrathion. His mama's probably white, right? He's got a white mama in there somewhere. Oh.
Yes, he's got a white.
I really hope there wasn't anybody more obvious that I missed.
Okay, let me pull up the list I had real fast.
What are you on like halfbreeds.com? Like, what is this list coming from?
Well, I opened up my browser.
Mixedrace.com.
I opened up my browser to try to search for a trivia question, and then my browser happened to be under the hybrid flowers and Animal Crossing, and then I was like, let me think about it.
You know what's awful is I had to read the stupid comic, and I don't know Medivh and Growlina's stupid kid with his 1/3 things.
It's like Madon't or like Madu, something stupid.
We always call it like Madoofus. That's not his name.
Okay, so I believe Slide won that one because he named Growliina and Rexxar first, I believe. And Aaron, you said the son of Illyria and
yes,
Trallian,
I said
right?
Arathor. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so I believe it was a score of 2-1. But other ones that I had on this list were as half-elf humans. There is Aladi, the first guardian of Tirisfal, the son of Illyria and Trallian. Then there's Giramar and Galadin, the 2 sons of Ronin and Varisa. Then there's Growliina, and I guess Rexxar's father was also half ogre, half orc. He is Leorox.
Rexxar Senior.
Yeah. Right. And then on this list, for some reason, Moira's son is considered one as well, but I don't know if I would have considered.
I guess because it's Dark Iron and Dwarf.
But Dark Iron are just the same dwarves. They were just
I would say it's a different tribe.
So I'm glad that you guys didn't name that one because I didn't want to get into some weird racial politics here. But I would have taken Caligos too because technically he chooses the form of a half elf. And then also Medon.
Medoofus.
Is his name Medon? Really?
I believe so.
Yeah, it's M-E-D. Like
wow.
M-E
I was over here
Dan.
like, it can't just be based off his dad's name.
Which also is kind of weird. It seems like Medon seems like the son of Gul'dan. Why would you name him like similarly to Gul'dan? You know what I'm...
Yeah, that is a little weird. And that is it, I believe. So, yeah, I'm going to call it
mad
for
because
Slide
like
this week.
3/4 of those are like an elf and a human. It's like, wow, this glass of room temperature water and this cardboard box. Nothing's interesting when you mix an elf and a human.
So we actually have some mail that's from Raptor Jesus. My favorite part is that he basically kind of said, you don't have to read this on the podcast. And I was like, if you send us mail, we're going to read it on the podcast. So you better fucking be ready for this.
What does Raptor Jesus have to say?
Hey guys, Raptor Jesus here. Really enjoy your guys' podcast. Brings me lots of laughs at work. This does not need to be on the podcast.
Too bad, Raptor Jesus, because it is.
This doesn't need to be on the podcast because I'm just curious what day/times you guys raid. I'm sure you've said it in the past, but I can't remember. My guild doesn't do alt runs, and we are to the point because we will just be extending our lockout soon. I hate pugging. Oh, same. But if you guys ever need someone to join, I'd definitely be interested. I know you said you might be going into Mythic soon. I don't know how that's going anymore. So I wouldn't be able to come to that. Oh, okay. Being on a different server or not. But if you guys keep doing heroic or normal, I definitely would want to try and come on an alt. I can't guarantee I can make it all the time. That's fair. Then he gave me his B tag, which I will not share. So I think I'm going to add his B tag probably and just like talk to him. But I feel like I need to figure out what our curve is right now for like how we're rating, especially with so many people that have come back to the guild right now. I feel like we need to figure out when we're going to like flatten our like return rate. Because with quarantine being a thing, literally, people have nothing better to do than to come back and fill up our numbers again.
Does he say what he plays or like what role he likes?
Oh, no, you know what? He actually didn't say it at all. So I probably asked that in my other email I sent to him. Because, yeah, we didn't know what he's playing. And also, but for those who are curious, the days that we raid are Tuesday, Wednesday. And our times are, they're so hard to translate from regular, from West Coast time to regular time. What is it?
So it is 7 p.m. server time, which is 3 hours ahead of that for me and 2 hours for them. But it's 7 p.m.
7 Pacific.
server time.
So, see, this is why it gets so complicated. So it's at 9 Central Time.
It's at 10 Eastern Standard Time.
And it goes until 11:30 Central Time or 12:30 Eastern Standard Time.
What is that in Mountain Time? What even is Mountain Time? Is that like, where is that?
I'm pretty sure it's a myth.
I thought Mountain Time was sort of like Corona time, where it's like, what time is it?
It's Corona
It can
time.
be anything Mountain Time. When you're in these big, beautiful mountains, who cares about time?
Time ain't real. But yeah.
No, Corona time is where I wake up at 7:30 a.m. and I'm like, I'm still fucking tired. I'm going to sleep for 7 hours.
But yeah, if you guys ever want to raid with us or whatever, just let us also know what your spec class is, because that makes it easier to fit you in. Because if you're a DPS, probably. If you're a healer, I don't know, man. We got so many fucking healers right now.
Nah.
We don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, you have so many healers that you got me going DPS. Ooh, which also reminds me, I finally bothered making like one of those set things in WoW so that when you change your spec, it automatically puts you in the correct gear, because I am like 85 years old and didn't understand how to do it before.
I still don't.
There's people yelling outside.
They're like, oh yeah, you're doing it. Get in that fucking spec list, bitch.
Congratulations! It only took you like 7 years.
I knew how to do it back in Cataclysm.
So, speaking of our little bit of fan involvement, we alluded to this one on last week's podcast, but we also had an interesting experience in general chat while Slide and I were trying to gear up our alts. And this is from none other than Dick Doctor of Darkspear. And
oh my god, another Darkspear person? Wait, are you sure it's Darkspear?
yeah, it's Darkspear.
It is.
What the hell's up with Darkspear?
I don't know. Apparently, all of our biggest fans are on Darkspear. So, anyways, Slide just in general chat name dropped our podcast and asked people to interact with us because we are very desperate for interaction. And then Dick Doctor just responds. He said, "Yo, LMAO, not gonna lie, I listened to them on Spotify." And then Slide immediately went in as the bad cop, saying, "No, you don't. Stop lying." Basically, I said that, yeah, this is immunization. I'm on my alt. And then he says, "Wait, immunization? Where's Aaron at, LMAO?"
Eating another spaghetti dinner, Dick Doctor. That's what I was doing.
Is he for real, or is he just like messing with like you can easily type in "do not relent" and like put like play a video really fast to hear us, but he was almost too fast with it, so I think he actually might be legitimate.
Yeah, because then he also started telling us about a certain, because like, well, basically Slide was like, prove it that you listened to us, and then he like told back a story that we told on a really random like middle of the pack episode a long time ago, and is like, it lined up. So I'm not really 100% sure if I believe whether or not Dick Doctor listened to us. Maybe he does.
I don't appreciate the voice you did when you were talking from my perspective. Thank you very much.
It is my voice as Slide Whistle as the bad cop.
It was deep, intense character play.
Yeah, there's several layers of character play there.
I just really refuse to believe that somebody who randomly is talking in general chat in fucking Nazmir is a listener of our podcast. Like, oh yeah, I've heard that before. And then he said he didn't know who we were. I'm on my character Slide Whistle. And then he's like, oh, where's Aaron? Where's Immunization? Like, what? You know those things, but not my name? That's how I knew it was fake to begin with, because my name matters. My name matters.
The truth come out. Slide Whistle is dubious because you didn't say his name.
It's bullshit.
So yeah, we chatted with him in whispers for a little bit, and I think we basically came to the conclusion that he is a casual listener that has us on in the background while he does his world quests, which is cool. Any listen is a good listen, right?
It's probably the only way to like listen to our podcast anyway. I don't know how you could just listen to just this alone by itself. It can't be that much fun.
Thank you, DN Army. We salute you.
Sometimes if I just sit there looking at my phone, I go, ugh, who are these guys? And I throw it across the room.
So, Dick Ducker, here's your official shout out, and I hope that you got your kids to bed soon, because we asked him to send in a DNR thought, and he didn't, and instead put his little kids to sleep. If your kids are even real, Dick Doctor.
Yeah, he also asked what DNR was when we asked him to send us a DNR thought, so...
Which is fair. I mean, we never really explained that it stood for Do Not Relent Thoughts, did we? I think we just kind of say it.
I don't know. I feel like we have said that we are DNR several times. Every episode.
I don't know. Just, if you're real, please talk to our boy Ron Duran. That's RHONJURAN. He's also on Darkspear. Just give him some what's it for us.
What if they come together and they create an anti-show? They start R&D.
Oh no!
It's like, ha, ha, ha. It's our Talking Dead, except they just make fun of our stupid.
Oh my
voices.
god! You know what's funny? R&D could work because it'd be Ron Duran and Dick Doctor. R&D.
Oh no!
They're gonna steal our listens.
Quick, trademark it that way. They can't have it.
They're gonna like pitch up you guys' voice and be like, look how stupid they are. And then they're just gonna play me like, oh, can you believe that? And that'll hurt my feelings.
They're gonna do like a master clip of all of our stupidest moments, which would probably just be like matching all of our episodes together and not
we
removing
already
anything.
do that.
Yeah, they're just gonna play one episode and that's it.
I need to go cry now. Growliina, take over.
Arr!
Hello there, listeners. Growliina's on the scene to bring you the info you gotta know. I'm here with my pal Banneroo, who is just bursting at the seams to answer my questions. Ben, with all these new options coming in the next expansion, what's your favorite customization option? I would have to say I'm looking forward to a lot of the eye color options, specifically adding the glassed over eye option. I've had a blind priest character idea that I've always really wanted to do. I see. So what did you think of the Worgen colors? Some of those glowy eyeballs looked pretty neat. I didn't actually see what they got. I don't play Worgen, so I didn't check. You didn't look at them? But why? Surely our magnificence would have piqued your interest. Who could look away? I don't know. I don't like them, so I didn't check. Well, first you don't play them, and now you don't like them? I'm starting to think you're a hater. LOL. We just all have our preferences. I didn't mean to offend. Well, you did. I have to go run home and cry now. This has been Growliina. Just take it back to the studio. Growliina. Growliina. That was her name.
Don't forget the double I.
I said it quick, but it's important.
And we're back. I had a big mighty pee during that Growlina break. So, basically, the day that we posted this episode, Mr. Ian Hazacosta sat down with Salute and had an interview of questions of various interesting qualities. There was some shit that I didn't give a shit about. I didn't care. And there was some actually huge bombs that Ian just casually fucking dropped in this interview that was on Twitch.
Lay 'em on us.
Well, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot in here. But one thing that I want to highlight is, so there was a lot of questions asked, but one that I liked the most was about tier sets, which I was like, right, where are we going with this tier set?
Well, where did we go with these tier sets?
Okay, so it says that the team wants to do tier sets again, but they aren't in the first patch of the expansion. So I think it's interesting that they don't want to do tier sets right away. This means that, I mean, obviously we know that when they make a new expansion, it's in development while the other one's ongoing. But this kind of tells me that like they weren't planning on bringing back tier sets until they got all the backlash of not having them to begin with.
Well, okay, so back in Legion they had tier sets, right?
Yes.
And I also believe that the first raid did not have tier sets, right?
No. The first one of Legion?
I thought so.
No, the Nightmare did not have tier sets, not that I'm remembering.
Is that how we... Oh, wait, is that how they normally work for power level? They don't have tier sets to begin with? I actually completely forgot about that one, about Emerald Nightmare.
Yeah, I think that's normally the way they like to do it, because the first raid is almost like a test.
Oh, yeah, I guess the way that it's worded here made it seem like it was an outlier and weird. But yeah, you're right. And then also, it also says here, previously you expected to have your tier bonus sets quickly in the tier, which made all those slots dead to Mythic Plus loot. So I think they're also they're kind of wary about putting in tier sets while they have their current system for Mythic Plus, which is also, that makes a lot of sense because then that's going to pull a lot of items out of that Mythic Plus pool that you're not going to want to even put on. And then it says there are lots of positive aspects to having tier sets, such as the class-specific art and fantasy, and the team wants to bring those back, which I fucking love. I feel like the sets we have are okay and cool, but something about having a set that's exclusive to a class that makes you want to play that certain one is so much fun.
Mm-hmm. I often look at the Tomb of Sargeras mage set, and I'm like, oh, when do I get my 3-foot-tall crown again?
I just want something specific to classes again, you know?
Artifact halls. So we're currently in Alpha. Ian, give us a key, please. It says World Quests are coming later in Alpha as the level cap goes up. And then it says for Shadowlands, there aren't going to be any emissaries. And when he said that, I was like, what? Like, I like emissaries. There's not going to be any? Apparently, they're going to be replaced with Covenant Callings. And they're a little more flexible, and they're remixed. So it just sounds like it's Emissaries 2.0, hopefully.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's sort of like how they said there was not going to be artifact power, and instead there was Azerite power.
But it was still AP. It feels like this is going to be basically an emissary, but maybe it's not like dedicated to a certain region.
Yeah, I could see that. That'd be interesting. I just want to have some form of like that. Like I like getting that gold is so nice, and like I don't even get any more on Alan because I'm still not exalted with anybody because I'm playing everybody else now. There were other talks at the very end of the talk about PvP and PvE having a shared chest instead of having the Mythic Plus chest in your Borealis little area, or having the PvP chest out by Lady in the Fight House. And it says that they want to have both go into one shared chest, allowing you to do the one you prefer to get more options that will help to reduce the pressure to do both PvE and PvP. I don't understand how that's going to work. So they're basically saying if I run a +5, then that I can get a PvP item out of this chest? Is it random? Do I get to pick which one I want to do? What if I want both options? Because I do both.
Maybe like if you get to like a certain threshold in one, then when you go to the weekly chest, you get to choose which one to open. But maybe if you do both, you get to open both.
Okay. I mean, I guess that could work.
they said, we know you're tired of having 2 chests, so here's one big chest that contains 2 chests.
Whoa.
That's weird. I still can't envision why you wouldn't want to do both, though, right? At that point, doing both is still going to be the best way to play, technically. But I guess if there was like a really good trinket for you in PvP that you couldn't access because you didn't play it, I guess you could burn your PvE chest to get it. This is a fucking humongous one. There is no War Forging, Titan Forging, or Corruption Forging in Shadowlands. And in bold it says here, let loot be loot.
Ooh. When's the last time... Was Legion the last time that system was not in play?
No, I think it was like... I think this predates us by a while, I'm pretty sure. I mean, because like Legion had it in play, Draenor had it in play, so it either started...
That's very fair, yeah. Stuff could randomly upgrade.
We honestly, we only know this system, I feel like, which is going to be bizarre, but I think it's a fantastic change because now, like, there's world quests that I do that I'm like, oh, hopefully, maybe this little 410 item will roll up to be a 445, and I'm like, it's broken, and bad players can get better loot than you, and that feels bad, so I think this is good.
Yeah, I like this as well. I feel like it makes for very defined tiers of loot and very defined tiers of like where a player is, because I feel like, as Slide said, like we have some people that we've experienced in Guild who literally only get their gear from like, I don't mean to talk down or anything, but like very low level content, and they just get really, really good RNG and get like loot that's better than ours.
And Corruption kind of fixed that a little bit, except now if you get like a tier 3 like infinite stars and it's like 400 eye level, it's almost better than what you're wearing now. So that's also kind of why they're not doing that either, because Corruption Forging was a test to see if they could bring that further in the Shadowlands. And apparently Ian said Corruption tuning was a mistake. The team missed the mark pretty severely early on, but the team did not want to upset the hierarchy of corruption items after players already had them. So basically, their own balls were in their own vice, and they couldn't do anything to fix the high-tier items, and so they were just stuck, which is why they're probably not doing anything.
Can you imagine getting mail from Blizzard, like, 2 weeks into it? Like, gang, we kind of mucked that up. That's not better either. Just kidding. We're going to take your stuff away. And then just your stuff was no longer corrupted.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of why early on, basically everybody was saying don't cleanse any of your items because they're tuning, and who knows what they're going to tune next. That's why I kept my axe for so long. I thought maybe they're going to make it better, and then they just kind of learned that they shouldn't have touched anything, so they left it alone. There's other stuff in here that we can talk about on episode 69, but I think we should just kind of move forward. I think those are the big pieces, though, like the most important ones that I cared about the most.
Well, speaking of ones that you cared about the most, Ian didn't mention it in this interview, but I remember you telling us that there was something very important that you were excited about.
Oh yeah, how the fuck did we... Last episode, I did not bring this up. I almost forgot to do it on this episode. PvP vendors are officially coming back in Shadowlands. They trust us to find the vendors now, which is like, okay, finally we get it.
Whoop whoop.
It's like, how long? Why did it take until now to get them back? I'm happy they're here, but god damn, we could have had them in BFA. That I need some shouldies, and I'm tired of trying to get them from the current system. It's so hard.
You mean you don't like cashing in your coins every few weeks to do a roulette on the Azerite Shoulders vendor?
Well, even that, but I don't think so. My shoulders that I need are PvP shoulders. I don't think those shoulders are in the PvE rotation. So I have to either hope it drops or wait for it to come up on that like random week, and it still hasn't come up yet. So now I'll be able to cash in my points and get my shit.
All those meanies out there are going to even more effectively kick my ass.
That's the only problem, is that the people who know what they're doing are going to absolutely decimate you if you don't look up what you have to buy. It's going to basically force you to only buy certain things, which is also kind of stinky, but you at least know what you have to do, and you don't have to hope for like a random shot at getting it.
Yeah, it just seems like Shadowlands Blizzard is like, we're just gonna introduce, or I should say reintroduce, all the different choices that we had in previous games, so that the player base can decide what they want to do.
I'll take it.
Speaking of taking it, I'm going to take this opportunity to talk about this week's sexiest NPC of the week.
Who is it?
This week's sexiest NPC of the week is a hot little number who's a perfect 10. And by that, I mean 10 syllables in her name. We're talking about Fina Bjornsdotter.
Oh, you mean the Fina Bjornsdotter?
Actually, it's the Finna Bjornsdotter.
Well, I'm finna tell you why I love this big Viking lady.
Whew, this is one sexy Vicruel, let me tell you.
She's one tall glass of water.
She's a whole pitcher.
Girl. I love that she is a protection specialist because I want her to protect our love with those thick abs, those big muscles, and the fact that she's only really involved in like one mission and then she just kind of sits around.
Oh, wait, is she like a follower?
She's like...
Girl. She is a warrior follower in Legion, but she is not one of the ones because she's a shy lover. She doesn't want everyone on social media to know you guys are dating. So she'll only show up every so often and throw a spear from the air.
Oh, no. So, that's fine. She wants to hide her beauty because she knows that she'd be too OP if you saw that beautiful face fighting like alongside you on the battlefield. They're not going to want to fucking fight you. She wants to give you a fair shot.
Now, y'all, I don't know if you did the Warrior Order Hall, so I'm going to drop some knowledge that may or may not make the deal a little questionable. So at the beginning of the Warrior Order Hall, you, Finna, and some random other Viking-ass dude fight a boss and then die. Which means Finna is technically a ghost.
Oh, no.
Well, I mean, she's
Are
like...
you two down?
I mean, technically you're
with
also a
necro?
ghost, right?
That's true. The warrior is also a ghost, a fact I've been screaming every day since I found that out.
Yeah, I mean, or I guess you're just risen by Odin to go up and live in, like, warrior heaven, right?
I would be down to smash a ghost warrior. I mean, think about it. If in Casper, if that little girl can get down with little ghost boy Casper as he goes, "Can I keep you?" I think I can handle the beauty that is Finna Bjornsdotter.
And I was thinking, like, I don't know how I feel about banging a ghost, but we did say that we would have sex with Shade of a Comma, who is not even the ghost of a living man. That's just meanie energy. So I said, Finna, bring yourself over here.
And I will say, on her Wowpedia page, she is listed as status alive.
Oh, so never mind.
Well,
it's back on, boys.
Well,
Meat's on the menu.
Well, I mean, I guess alive as being risen by Odin can be. But also, fun fact, she's the only female warrior champion.
What? All the rest are
That
dudes?
is true. Yep, you get a bunch of boring Vikings that all have lore significance, but I do not care. And then Darius Crowley.
That's so fucking Odin. They just have a bunch of men and then Fina Bjornsdotter.
But Finna, you have the key to my heart this week. I am going to go catch a fat laser beam so I can head up to Viking heaven and give you your trophy.
And now it's time for our top toot, medium moot, bottom boot. Immune, what is your TTBBMM?
Well, I have alluded to it several times already. I have a bottom boot this week. And my bottom boot comes from our Iron Man challenge. and I was leveling my rogue Immuno. I was very happy with the progress. I was being very careful. I was, being a rogue, stealthing, making sure I didn't pull too much. There were times when I was a little bit of danger, but I never dropped below probably like 20% of health, and I got away every time I was in true danger. But what my bottom boot is I was leveling in the Cape of Stranglethorn down there, in southern Eastern Kingdoms, and there was this quest that involved me working with the League of Explorers, I believe, and we went on this like secret mission through like these temples, and we ended up facing this giant bad guy who is like casting like these evil shadow magics, and for some reason, I don't really know why, there were like 3 or 4 other player characters who were also running this quest chain with me at the same time. So we were doing like this encounter with this big bad guy all together. And we made it towards what ended up being the end of the fight. And the big bad guy starts casting this like shadow magic spell that like very obviously was like very powerful. He's going to wipe us out if we didn't dodge it or something. And then very quickly, the like no voice lines, just like quest text that's like was a voice of the League of Explorers saying, "Champion, get out of here now!" And then this ladder like appears on the screen. But like because there are 4 player characters that all like I guess started the encounter at different times, there are like 4 or 5 ladders just like scattered throughout the room that all like dropped down and started going up at like different intervals. And I was also only like 3/4 paying attention because Slide and I were watching a movie while we were leveling our Iron Man characters. So the combination of all those things, basically, I missed the ladder, didn't click on it. It disappeared pretty quickly, honestly, like as fast as like that one elevator boss that like got us the first week in this new raid. And basically what happens is if you miss that stupid like rope ladder, it goes up, and then the guy finishes his cast and just one hit KOs you. So that is how my Iron Man challenge ended.
Rest in pepperoni.
That's like the lamest way to die. But to be fair, you said that there wasn't voice lines. So you also weren't wearing your headset. So there may have been voice lines, but there probably weren't, right? Because it was a classic quest or a vanilla quest.
I just assumed there were not, but yeah.
Can you imagine if there's just like this loud like, "Here it comes. I'm gonna throw it at you. Click the ladder or you will die."
I sure hope you click one of the many available ladders.
That's the thing. I'm also...
And then, like, you're just sitting there and you're like, "I'll even give you a ladder if you want."
That's the thing, though. I'm convinced that, like, if I would have clicked on somebody else's ladder, it wouldn't have worked.
You know what this means? You have to go back and do it again and see if you can click that ladder or not.
No, the thing is, I can't even do it again because it completed the quest for me.
Oh, that's nice, I guess. At least you got the quest done.
Yeah, but I lost the Iron Man challenge, so there's that. Bottom boot! Slide, what is your TTBBM?
I've got a top toot of the week, and it's another class that I've fallen in love with.
Oh, no.
I fucking love Druid, man. Balanced Druid is so much fun. Being able to be whatever I want. I'm not a stinky worgen now. I'm a night elf and I'm pretty. Aaron, are you there? Aaron?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I love how you're like, I'm not a stinky worgen on Druid, where maybe you're a worgen for like 6 seconds. Just seeing him on like that split second that maybe you talk to someone is like, oh, this is too much.
I will say Slide did purposely buy the glyph so that he can stay in his night elf form instead of having to go into the moonkin form.
That's good. Because that's literally the only way to play Druid.
Oh my god, yeah. I was stuck for a while as the gross, like, chicken that... I mean, it's been updated, but I don't like being this weird, fat, ogre-ish bird person. It's so hideous. So I had to do what any other Proudmoore gay does and make a little lady night elf druid. And we're crushing it out here. She's actually level 89 right now. I've been leveling through BGs. Now that the Iron Man's over, I get like a level a win every battleground. And now that I'm kind of learning my rotation and what to do, and now that I recall that I can switch into bear form to heal myself is really helpful. So, lots of fun. Who knows? Maybe I'll be a druid in Shadowlands now.
Ooh, topical for the Night Fae.
I think if I was a druid, I would join, like, the stinky people, just to be like, hey, what's up? I'm a druid. I've joined the Maldraxxus. How's it going, everybody? Realistically, how many druids do you think are going to join the gross factions and not stick with, like, the Night Fae people?
Well, you've gone on record to say that it could be at least one.
I was about to say, I'm gonna guess like 2, because maybe you'll get another account and do it.
Only time will tell. And, Aaron, do you happen to have a top toot, bottom boot, and or medium moot?
Why, yes, I have myself a tippity top toot.
Wow!
And that is that during the time walking that we did, I managed to find myself in possession of the reins of the Infinite Time Weaver.
Oh, and you didn't even know or care. Cubby Bob is over here like, yeah, he's just like scratching his balls.
Yeah, literally, I was like, huh? What is this? I kept looking at it while Slide is freaking out, like, you got it? That's such like a status symbol. And I'm like, what? I'm just getting Doritos in the other room. But it's a neat looking Drake mount, God's plan. And I have yet to receive any sort of mail or any sort of compliments that I was told I would get for walking around with it.
Well, have you been using it for reals?
I have been using it for reals on the characters I play. I turned off all of the random flying mounts and said just that one.
Bring it out in raid tonight or something.
Yeah, I'll just whip it out and see if any of the see if anyone goes wild.
Well, at this point, Amber Lynn got his infinite dragon, I think the first day of time walking, and he didn't know it was rare because he thought everyone got it. So everyone's seen his. So maybe by now they're like, we've seen it already.
I don't know, but I liked the clout I got for like 6 seconds. So that's my top toot of the week.
Whoa, whoa.
Hell yeah. And with that, we're going to close down these doors. We're going to have another special recording coming to you guys this Monday, 4/20/2020 at 4:20 p.m. I guess we could do that, but it'd probably be like, ooh, what about 4:20 a.m.? We could do that.
Yeah, that way, like, if you're waking up early to do 420 stuff or whatever, I don't know what people do on 420.
Oh,
like taxes, right?
Yeah,
that's what people do that day?
Yeah, taxes.
You'll see what I'm doing. That's my day off, and I got weed on me, baby. Anyway, if you have any comments, questions, complaints, want to send a DNR thoughts, which we will be reading on the next episode, you can email us at donotrelentlpod@gmail.com or tweet at us on Twitter at donotrelentlpod. What about you guys? We're going to find you on the internet.
You can follow me, Alex or Immunization, on Twitter at NewEraAlex, or you can follow our podcast Instagram account at Do Not Relent. I recently caught it up again, so yay.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at The Big Cheesy on Twitter, and you can find our literary musings at livejournal.donotrelent.com.
With that, we are leaving you. We're leaving your ears until, 3 days from now? So see you guys next week. And remember...
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.